So today is sort of the end of an era, really. Today we're packing up our stuff and we're leaving the road trip house.
All bands, all artists go through sort of like a natural evolution.
Do I still feel like it's the beginning of the end? I don't know. It's a hard one.
But again, it's another one of those things where all our mistakes are made, like, for everyone to see.
Leaving the house really is the end of the road trip journey.
Like all stories with road trip, it's a bit of a weird one. I knew Ryan from way back. We used to do free running together. At this point in time, I had just quit my career as a dancer, and he said that he was in this band, and he said, you know, we're looking for a film guy. I think the first vlog I filmed for them was we were building like life rafts and then putting them in the sea.
Yes, Mikey!
I don't know, it just felt like the right thing at the right time for me. I was changing career, I was a bit lost, didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, and then kind of found them, and then through that, like, my passion for filmmaking. My best friend from home, Connor, and I remember having a conversation with him being like, you know, this band looks like they could go places. How cool would this be if we could just shoot all of their music videos and then eventually shoot their original music?
Fast forward a few months, I kind of broke up with my girlfriend. I didn't have a place to stay, and Ryan just said, look, you're going through some shit at the minute, like, let's help you out. Come down to Reading, sleep on our couch. And that's what I did. I slept on their couch for a few weeks, and then he gave me a mattress, and I slept on a mattress on the floor, and before I knew it, I had my own bedroom. I'm always going to be grateful to Ryan and the rest of the boys for, you know, taking me in as they did.
I said to Ryan, I was like, can I have a go at shooting one of your music videos? And he was like a bit iffy. He was kind of like, we already have a guy who does them. He's really good, and I was like, this is really what I want to do. Give me a chance, and he gave me a chance, and I fucked it up. I remember sitting down with all the boys, they all watched it, and after it finished there was like a silent pause, and everyone was like, yeah, it's good, man.
Alex had already asked for a chance in the past and messed it up, so we knew we had to win Ryan over. We asked Ryan for like 200 quid or something to rent a really cheap like cinema camera, because we didn't have the right equipment to film music videos at this point.
Still didn't know what we were doing with it. The first ones we shot for them was Happier and Electricity.
Myself and Alex edited from like 8 p.m. after shooting, probably till about 6 a.m. the next morning, because we wanted to prove ourselves.
The boys watched it and they loved them, and they said, you know, we want you to, you know, shoot all of our music videos from now on. There was one point where we were creating maybe 2 music videos a week for about 6 months.
During shooting the Shawn Mendes Evolution in the middle of London, myself and Alex were on the phone to Pinewood Studios, just trying to get equipment to shoot the Ariana Grande music video the next day.
There was so many shoots where we would rent a light or rent, you know, a piece of equipment, and their boys are there waiting on set, and we'd just be like, just 2 minutes, because we're learning what the gear does or how to turn it on.
A lot of mistakes was made, but we learned a phenomenal amount in the process.
Having that repetition of just, you know, creating content non-stop. If anyone wants to learn filmmaking, just, you know, find someone and put everything into it. Like, you don't need to go to uni for this shit. We just jumped on the job and hopefully made some cool content.
Hey, bro. Oi, bro. What are you doing?
Nothing.
That's a measuring tape.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
The most memories we made were probably here, to be honest. We moved here in the summer and we just felt like ballers a little bit, like living in this big mansion in London, and like there was a swimming pool.
It was a surreal experience. Like, it was the closest I've ever came to kind of living as a rock star.
It's just literally doing the dumbest shit.
Something's always going on in the house. Like, it would be 3 a.m. and people will be up doing stuff.
Pretty much every other day the house was egged, and we'd always be like, who's egged the house? And it turns out it was probably someone within the house. Things would just get broke, things would get smashed, things would get punched. Yeah, even though you're living in this nice sort of place, it's almost as if you're squatting in it, really.
it was the last thing like we ever filmed like together, like as a band. To be honest, it's one of the better ones we did as well. Like we all just sort of like let loose and like had a good time. And of course talking about the slip and slide.
Hi, we're Road Trip. Welcome to Slip and Slide. Oh, yeah, I'm coming in hot, mate. Hot. Oh! Yeah, come on, bro. Take it, man.
You oil me up, and you butter me up, and you laugh me up.
I mean, this is so fun.
It was good fun. I did also crash my drone. That wasn't great. That wasn't great. That really wasn't great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bro, look at the drone. The drone's fun.
Hi guys, so we've just killed a drone. Where's it gone? Is it bad?
Yeah, that's fun.
GoPro's still filming. Should we watch that back? That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Fast forward a few months to my birthday, and Ryan put a hoodie over my face, pushed me out the door to the garden, and surprised me with a drone that all of my friends here, that one, and a few others over there, like got together, and that was really, really nice actually, because did not expect that at all.
No. So we got you your drone back. There it is. There it is. Go, and your family.
So I ended up crashing a drone and getting a better one, but my birthday was my favourite day in this house, like without question.
In many ways, this house does just represent Road Trip.
To call it the Road Trip house is, you know, very fitting.
Very impressive from the outside, as was Road Trip. You get inside, a little bit of a mess.
It was just manic, like, and that's what Road Trip was. It was just a ball of mayhem that was rolling out of control.
A story from this house. Moving in was fun. I remember all of us being in the pool. Jack's like, we have a pool, like, we need to do this. And we're all like, what? Just gets all his kit off and he's like, everyone needs to do this. So we all just got our kit off and just all went swimming completely naked in our pool, just because we could.
I think my favourite night or memory was one of the first fires we did, because it was spontaneous.
You don't know, babe.
Everyone was just sat around telling stories, getting to know each other better. And it's like when you think you know someone well, and then all of a sudden there's a new story that comes out, and you're like, oh, you're human too.
If I had it my way, you would know that.
You're looking at the camera.
Go for it.
You're the coffee that I need in the morning. You're my sunshine in a rain that's pouring. Won't you give yourself to me, baby? Oh, I just wanna see it. Yeah, I just wanna see it.
You just learn about life when you live in a place like this. It's quite cool.
I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I follow. No matter how far. If life is a movie, then you're the best part. Oh, you're the best part. Oh, best part.
So, of course, this place isn't without bad memories.
Arguments that happen between the boys, both online and behind closed doors, and kind of where they're at now. And, you know, I don't think anyone wanted it to end in the way that it did. And so that's probably the worst memory, to see a group of friends work so hard for something and end up resenting what they created.
everyone deals with everything in different ways. And night that we realised Brooke left, I genuinely was really disappointed in that. Like, I genuinely held Brooke to a really high standard. I thought he was a really good guy.
It all happened so quickly that, and you kind of just go into survival mode of like, right, where am I going to live? What do I want to do?
There's been moments where I'd seen just sides of Brooke that I felt no one else had seen. Like, he's just a really humble, down-to-earth guy, and I still really believe that that's the guy he is. I really do, and I think he did, and like the rest of us, we just caught up in some bullshit. I really do hope once it's over, he'll reply to my WhatsApp and just say hi, really. Just come back home.
A lot of stuff's happened in this house. A lot of things. Big for different reasons. I met Honor, who was like the first time I met a girl where I'm like, this is a girl I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. Made my first ever song in this house. Like, we crafted it here and went off and then wrote it fully with Ben, and then came back here and listened to it on the speakers where it first kind of originated, and I was like, this is mad. This is what I want to do forever.
I've gathered you here to watch your magic show.
There's a few little shit bits, but they're kind of like been and gone, and I hope one day those things get forgotten about and everyone can just kind of catch up and be mates.
I'm gonna miss this house. This house always has like room for a lot of people. We've had many like, not parties, this sounds strange, we don't really party, many like a gathering where we, put on the fire in the garden and whatnot, and we've always had loads of people around, like some of Ryan's pals and Ben and whatnot. I think there's just been loads of little memories like that created throughout the time of being at this house.
I remember quitting dancing and not having a clue, and I was like, I just started a photography company, and I'd do one shoot a week and be like, mate, I'm smashing it, I'm doing really well, like, and my ambitions were so small. To meet like a boy band that had an ambition of being like, we're going to be the biggest boy band in the world, it just changes you as a person. Like, being around them and, hearing all the time them being like, we're going to make it, this is us, this is our story. Having that enthusiasm and that like drive just changes everyone else around you. Like, I can dream that I'm going to be a Hollywood director because they're going to be the biggest boy band in the world.
It's only now that it's over that I can really appreciate just how good the experience of working for Road Trip was.
Okay, guys, happy with that one?
I haven't seen that.
So.
Genuinely, like, no bullshit, one of the best experiences and the biggest pleasures of my life to have told that story.
0.2 super frisky cream.
Now we finished telling the Road Trip story, I think we now need to tell the story of Foley and the Champ.
So what's next for Foley and the Champ?